We are live. And we are live. Ding ding. Ding ding ding. We're live. And we are live. Ding ding. Ding ding. We're live.
Good Lord.
So why am I hearing echoes and shit?
I have no idea.
I think that's why I had my fucking speaker on.
Yeah. Daniel, Dino, Bad Jan, D-Train, Fick, Blade Charge.
Well, usually you capitalize the first letter and the rest of the letters are lowercase. Mine, on the other hand, is the opposite. Oh, shit. Gonna wait a second, as you know, let all these people file in to whatever. You know, so yes. We are calling it the SLS address, if you will, because I know our little quote unquote companies, as in GWA and UCW, may not be the same after this.
No, D-Train, you're not getting fired from sweeping the floors. That's too fucking hilarious.
I don't even see that shit here on my screen.
Oh, he posted it on Skype. I just got a Skype message.
Gotcha.
Over on our Skype little thing there.
Yeah.
Wow, Matt.
Well, all right.
Rage is in the house.
That's hilarious.
No.
Really?
No, we're not firing anybody. But
you can fire your fucking self if you want.
Oh, wow. You know what? Fuck it. Let's start this because I got to go get Drew here soon.
Yeah.
No, we are not firing anybody. But if what we're about to say, you don't like it and you feel you need to leave, that's fine. No harm, no foul. Go ahead and go. Just let us know so we can get you off our rosters.
Yep.
It is what it is. But
what's about all the rest of that statement?
Yeah, after what happened the other day,
last night.
That's what. Yeah, that's what it's coming down to. We're not. I don't want to force anybody out. He doesn't want to force anybody out. But at the same time, I am never going to acknowledge eternity. I'm never going to acknowledge kindred. And neither is Doug. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Go ahead.
We got to make sure we understand, make people understand. It's nothing against either thing, against this, against that. It's the reality of 99% of us do what we're doing because it's the closest any of us are really going to get to ever being in the business. You know, I was lucky enough to be in the business as a fan, a ring crew boy, as a wrestler. I'm a writer for Pro Wrestling Empire. So when you look at this game, as it is a game, and we treat it like it's real, because that's why, like I said, that's why we do it. It's fun. It's fun. That's why we do it. So our little community, if you will, is kind of like the old school NWA, and all our companies are the territories. But instead of being called Mid-South or Mid-Atlantic, we have legit names. You know, like we're our own WWF, WWEs, if you will. So that being stated, people didn't take one storyline from this company and put it in this company. What was going on here was going on here, and what was going on there was going on there. They did not overlap. Very seldom did things transfer from one company to another, but that's because those companies were working together in storylines. So that being stated, there's no such thing as this group, that group, right. And I'm not going to point fingers at one stable or an alliance or a group or this or that or the other, because that's kind of unfair. You know, I mean, we did mention Kindred, you did mention Eternity, but this goes for anything in general.
Right.
It did not happen in my company. It was never created in my company. That doesn't mean it couldn't have been, but it was never storylined in. It was never angled in. It never this or never that. When it comes to certain groups in other companies, I still don't even know who's all in certain ones, but I know they exist and I know some members because I wasn't there when they were created. And it's hard for somebody to constantly shove it down your throat and say, this is the group, this is the stable, this is the alliance, or what have you. You know, and like, let's take, for example, you and I. We created characters known as Pain and Agony, the Suffering. Their gimmick is a tag team. We are in one company as a tag team. We agreed to join another company, and instead of us being a tag team, we were separated, got put on 2 different shows as singles wrestlers. Okay, that's your company. You do with us as you please. You are the promoter, if you will. You have the creative control. You are in charge. If we don't like it, we leave. I'm okay with it.
Oh, I'm cool with it because my guy's a champ. So, hell yeah.
We were in one company. And we were asked, would we be okay with joining said stable, alliance, whatever? We said okay. Then without being asked, we were moved into a new one. I didn't give a shit. That's cool.
I didn't care.
I liked the shock factor. I was like, oh, shit, well, I didn't see that coming. That was cool. That was awesome.
I called you shortly after. I said, we're in a new group. He goes, huh? I'm like, yeah. I said, it was freaking cool.
But here's what I'm saying. More power to anybody who wants to do this. And I saw D-Train say it in the chat here. It's that click mentality. That's very accurate. If you want to have a group in every single freaking company, and then companies are okay with it, good. But make it a storyline and angle for that company. You can't just say, well, we've been over here for 7 years. Now we're automatically here. No, that doesn't how it works. That's not how it works. Because in the days of territories, in the days of the NWA, you saw what was going on in your area. You didn't have the internet to follow the other companies. So when Joe Blow came from south to the north, and he was a big fan favorite when he got to your shows, yeah, you had no idea, but down south, he was the big dickhead. Because you didn't know. There was no way to follow those things. You know, now we know what's going on from territory to territory, if you will, with like this little community we got. But that still doesn't mean it automatically happens in one fed or another. You still got to go to the people who run the companies and say, hey, we're this in this company and we're that in that company. We'd like to do that here as well. Can we do it? And if the promoters, the guys who are running the shows, are say, okay, now you have something. You don't agree to do something. And then all of a sudden during a live, quote unquote, pay-per-view, shit all over the angle and think it's a fucking joke and think it's funny and think it's okay. If you want to say, hey, I would like to leave, even though I just agreed to this, and rejoin my brothers, if you will, in this group, that quote unquote does not even fucking exist in my company. And I'm talking about GWA when I say my company. That doesn't mean we couldn't storyline that arrival to my group, my company. But to sit here and say, oh, I shit all over what was the upper echelon and I'm rejoining Eternity makes zero to no fucking sense, because Eternity does not exist in the GWA. It does not. But that didn't mean it couldn't. Now, it's not going to, because of the disrespect that was given to me last night. And that's why we made the statement when we first started. If you don't like what we're saying, we appreciate your thoughts, your opinions. I don't want nobody to piss on me. I don't want to piss on nobody else. I don't want to have beef, if you will, with anybody. If you don't like how a quote-unquote owner of a company or a promoter of a company runs their stuff, don't stay there to where you end up being enemies. I'm still cool with all these people who pissed me off. I still love them all. But your shit's not happening. So if you don't like it, tell me We'll remove you from the roster so we can remain cool. We can remain friends. We can still give each other the shit when we're in live streams and stuff together. Just say, hey, we wanted this. You're not allowing it. I don't want to be here. That's no harm, no foul. And I'm going to use an example that I went through with Pete. Pete got pissed because I put him in a hair versus hair match. And he had his reasonings behind why he was pissed. I had my reasonings as to why. Tough shit. It's my company, my rules. I have creative control. Case in point, Blaze had creative control and took us from one group to another group without warning. That was his right. But I sat down, listened to Pete's arguments. Pete sat down, listened to my arguments. While I disagreed with his and he disagreed with mine, we as grown men agreed to disagree and found that happy medium when he or Mad Dog's character were going to lose their beard. Pete's made a suggestion. How about instead, being clean shaven, we go with the Billy Graham mustache, yada this. Mad Dog didn't even want him to shave because the gimmick was they were going to become allies out of respect because of the beatings they gave each other. Together, we found a happy medium because I understood where he came from, he understood where I came from, and the storyline still worked. But that's because we spoke about it. We didn't just say, fuck you, and do what we want, But at the end of the day, the company owners have creative control of your character. I don't care which companies do it. Some companies do it differently. Some people do it differently. And, and I've heard Pete numerous times say, oh, I'll go to the character people and I'll get their permission. That's how he runs his stuff. And that's why everybody's different. If we all ran this shit the same, what's the point of having different names?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the point of having different names? Because if there's this group here, and it's here, and it's here, and it's there, and it's boring. It's the same shit every single place. The only difference is you hear somebody different calling the show, and you're seeing different graphics on the screen. That would be the only difference. At that rate, all these people who are trying to run companies should just come together as one big freaking company then, because we're all doing the same thing. That's how I look at it. Maybe I'm freaking drunk. Maybe I'm high. Maybe I'm both. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, even Pete posted on Slack, as the owners, we have the right to do what we want. We bust our ass to do what we need to do for our companies, to make our companies what we want and how we like it. And he was very disappointed in people. And he posted all right there for everybody to see. Because, it just, if you're going to do it, then that's one thing to, say I'm going to do it. Then you should have said it that day, should have, I'm going to do this right after. And he, that's why I said, and of course, I know all these people are going to say, oh, but you got the tag teams in there. You got this and you got that. That's tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a group. Road Warriors went to every damn territory in the world and was known as the Road Warriors. Dudley Boys went all over the world to different Dudley Boys.
Oh, you said Road Warriors. Road Warriors are from the NWA days. They'd be in one territory as a face and another one as a heel.
That's right.
They did it different, depending on where they went. Yeah. Like I said, you didn't have the luxury of the internet to know what was going in different areas.
Right.
I mean, you didn't even know some of the other territories even existed. I discovered about some territories.
If anybody's watched our shows, you've never mentioned, they're with this group, they're with that group. It was always what the tag team was. Like, Mordrin and Jake. I never mentioned, ever, they were part of Eternity. It was always Boots and Blood.
Right.
Other groups, it was always who they, Steel City Committee, different tag team. I never mentioned they were this over here, over there. It was, it was a tag. That was it. Right. I never mentioned anything about anybody being part of any of that stuff because, like you said, it wasn't brought here, it wasn't started here, and it was never asked, well, can we do that over here? I was trying to let them do that stuff there and do our own stuff this way, so they were doing something different.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't want to do because I agree, and I'm sure everybody else is starting to agree with us. If you're doing the same thing in every company, what's the point?
Right.
And that's you know, and I know he kind of shit on you, but Bagwell, his character is different in every territory because that's basically what we are now. We're Dougie brought it up perfectly. Like for UCW, he went to blue. You know, he looks different in Pete's. He looks different in LTD. He looks different in GWA. So it's different. Time they still all wanted to have the click together, and it's like, okay. And you know, and I think it's great that you guys have been doing all this stuff for 7-8 years or whatever.
It's hard to do.
That's awesome, but at the same time, I will throw this out at you, and this is the God honest truth, and y'all know it. If this was actual wrestling and these were real companies and they were doing this, ain't no fucking way in hell. And I'll repeat myself. No fucking way in hell. This thing would have ran for 8 fucking years.
Right.
Would have never happened. And I don't care if you're going to tell me, oh, well, we did it for this, and then we stopped. Then we come back, we did it. No, ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. So I'll give you guys credit for doing it for this long and doing everything you're doing. That's cool. But at the same time, it stops at the doors. When you come to GWA, you come to UCW, it doesn't happen. Right. It's not. That's a whole other thing now. You know, and I honestly don't care if they get pissed. I don't. If you want to go, go. I'm not going to fire you. I'm not going to force you out. I'm just telling you, when you're here, this is how it's going to be. And I'm still going to do things my way. Dougie's going to do things his way.
I mean, we do this channel together, and our shit's way different and run differently.
Oh, shit. Raid said he peed in your coffee again.
That's okay. I fucked his wife.
Wait a minute.
See, that's just it. You just jump to the utmost extreme, then there's nowhere else to go. Then it just ends right there. Because I'm honestly in no mood for games and jokes right now. I'm just not. I really don't.
Yeah, bait charts, I'm fine. Like I said, I understand they're all part of the different groups and all this is great, but I never once reached out to them and said, hey, I want this here. They never once reached out to us and said, we want this here in your company. Because, again, if you're doing it in every company, what is the point of having different companies, having different streams, different shows to enjoy? It's all the same.
Right. That's why I said we're going to tune into the same fucking product, just with different people calling it. Different graphics on the rings. That's right. It. That's pointless.
No, you did not get fired. I can't fire you. I'm not allowed because I have 2 boys that will fucking cry for months.
No, you did not get. Nobody's getting fired.
No, I'm not firing anybody. I don't want to fire anybody. I just want people to understand what's here is here. What's there, then that, you know.
Here's what I'll say. This upper echelon gimmick that I created in the GWA, and Ed can tell you this, wasn't just some off the wing, just for shits and giggles that I came up with. Ed knows right here, right now, I don't go by the seat of my pants when I run this. As a real wrestling writer in real life, I have a notebook, okay, sitting right here in front of me, and I will pick this up, and you can hear. Here's my page. I think you can hear that. I have at least. Let me go through here. 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, you won't get fired if you get beat grilled cheese.
Shit, I think I have about 20 pages in here without fucking really counting.
Because honestly, right now, out of the 2 of them, that's the only one you can beat.
But because we're not worried about all that.
Well, he posted it. He's posted it in there.
He's trying to take the topic and change it. That's what's going on. I'm not going to sugarcoat the shit. We're staying focused.
Okay.
Yeah. But the fact is, like I said, I have like 20 pages here wrote down. This upper echelon storyline is wrote down in my book here, planned, plotted, and scripted through the summer. Through the summer. As I said, I don't just do shit by the seat of my pants and fly by the seat of my pants just and go from one week to the next week. I know exactly, precisely what's happening in the GWA next week and in 6 months from now, obviously with the subject to change theory because that's the way it is. But I know the direction in which I'm taking the thing. You know, that's the way I do it. And that's the way I take it.
He's always been that way.
Yeah. And I see Mama's comment, the show wasn't as good as this and that. I was in the best possible mood I could, considering people basically told me, fuck you, fuck your company, we're doing what we please. The fact that I just didn't stop calling the action and tell people, fuck you, made it enjoyable as far as I'm concerned. You know? Yeah, so like I said, TUE's planned, it's plotted, it's scripted, it's ready to go. Now, it's going to move forward, and it will move forward without the Jake Bagwell character as part of the group. He's going to be removed. Not just removed. It'll be storylined in and plotted in, but that's going to happen. So that's kind of a spoiler of what's coming up. Right now, he's TUE, will be a part of TUE until I say otherwise. Because that's the creative control you get as the promoter. That's why I said, we're in other companies on 2 different shows. I didn't do that. But that's their show, and I have to accept that.
Right, and then I'll say this because he just posted it in there. They just didn't just shit on your idea, but the guys that also were a part of that.
Right.
Because Lucius is in here posting on, he's pissed, because he was looking forward to this storyline, and now it kind of, basically slapped everybody in the face.
Lucius as an example. Lucius keeps mentioning truth or consequences to me. Truth or consequences doesn't exist in the GWA either. That's why I still have Curtis. I have Curtis and was Angela Wood. God, I haven't used the characters yet, so I keep forgetting the name. I have these people downloaded for him for whenever he wants to do whatever with these said characters in the GWA. But right now, they're not in the GWA. They're not a part of the GWA. So that's not nowhere part of the gimmick. It's nowhere part of his storyline or his angle here. It's just
I need to interrupt you and ask, since he is here, because that is kind of, because I have started it in UCW. Do I need to download all those new characters and get rid of the old ones? Because I saw all the new ones up.
Well, they're all in different colors.
Yeah, which is kind of different. One's in blue, one's in purple, one's in red. I'm like, okay.
Taste of the rainbow.
But no, like I said, I completely understand them wanting to because I'm going to keep coming back to this. I understand you're a group and you've been a group forever, and and of course I keep saying they're a family first, and then this and then that. That's all well and good, but to shit on somebody and to basically say fuck you, your company doesn't matter. That was kind of fucked up.
See, here's what pissed me off more. That happened, and then when it was shown that it pissed me off, I was basically, I guess we'll say, poked fun at. Oh, what, you have a problem with it?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, right away they're we're eternity. We do what we want, and we can do what. No, you're not going to.
Right. Like I said, I had a bunch of promoters. I'm calling us promoters. That's the people. For those of you who don't understand wrestling, those are the people who run the show. It's their show. They run it the way they want, no matter which company it is.
No, we're not gonna.
You get out.
I don't think he wants to do where somebody stabs him in the locker room.
Mario's trying to figure out what's going on. Mario, real simple. Just to give you the real quick Cliff Notes version. There's a company run through the WWE 2K18 game where we treat it like it's real wrestling. There's a storyline and an angle going on, and the characters involved thought they could write the rules and change the rules to a company they do not run. That's really the gist of it. And it doesn't work that way. Like let's say, for example, last night, I was put in a tag team match with not my tag team partner. Okay. I say okay as in I'm okay with that, because if I'm not okay with it, then I need to leave.
And because you were with what? I forget who the hell you were with.
I was with Hooligan last night.
Yeah, see, because my guy was on the night before,
Right.
because he was part of a group because some match that he won or didn't win or something, and he got put in that, and that's how you got put in your match. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said, like I said, when Pete and I had our little agree to disagree comments when it came to his character, I even told him straight up, you own that company. It's your company. You do whatever the hell you want with my character. And if you do something I don't like, I just leave. I can't sit there and say, oh, that's not happening here because it's my character. I get to do what I want. That's not how it works. All I can do is say, I don't like it and make a suggestion. And if he doesn't agree with what I want, I accept it or I walk away. So when I was thrown in a match, which I've been in numerous different matches over my time there with different people by my side, if you will, it makes it interesting for me because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like being told everything. Some companies like to come to me and say, hey, I wanted this and I wanted that. I'll tell everybody right now, if you run a company and you have my character in your company, do what you want with my guy. You don't have to ask me shit. You want to put me in a match tonight where if I lose, I got to wear a dress? Fuck, Hell, you can make my guy lose. Let me wear that dress because I'll run with that shit.
Yep.
Let's have some fun. This is a game. This is not life. But we treat it as such. That's why we enjoy it. And we have to treat it as realistic as possible. What's the point of doing this? Because that's what we're doing. We're living a dream, if you will. And I just found it completely rude, disrespectful, arrogant, and bullshit that someone thought it was okay to say, oh, by the way, I know you took the time to edit 4, 5, 6 characters in your video game, that you took the time out of your life, that you spend with your family to contact other members in your group about a set storyline, about a set angle, working it all out to the point where now, like I said, me personally, I have it wrote where it's going, the ideas behind it, and everything's of course subject to change, but I have a plan. I have the blueprint. Okay. And when you're building a house, the blueprint gets changed multiple times because you think of something else. But I have the gist of where I wanted it to go. And just in one shot, people thought it was okay to destroy it. And whatever. And then people are going to keep making jokes about it and carrying on about this. Whatever.
I'm laughing. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh when you started, but because Omar said you look pretty in a dress. And Mama, Doug is pain. I am agony.
I'm usually the one that loses. Ed's the one that usually wins.
Hey, Ed's the champ right now. That's all I know. I don't know. Honestly, when he won that first match, won that title, I'm like, okay, I got a title, and then I'm like, I know.
And speaking of our characters, Ed and I have them down. I have them downloaded, and Ed and I are going to be making tweaks to Pain and Agony. When they're done, we'll let people know. Because basically, it's for their move sets. Is really what the main thing is. I know, like Blaze took our character when he downloaded it from Pete, and he changed their attire and did some changes. I'm cool with that. Do whatever you please. Have fun with it. But I do want the movesets to be the same. And that's the thing in real wrestling, when guys went from territory to territory, they didn't change their wrestling style, but their gimmick or storyline was different. And I'm okay, with somebody coming here from another company going, this is my storyline with my gimmick. Or a moveset. This is my finisher. This is what I call it. Yeah, that can be the same everywhere. That's who you are as a wrestler.
Yeah, that's another thing I need to do. I need to start learning everybody's finisher because I have no clue what they are.
Well, I don't know any of them because no one has actually taken the time and say, okay, here's my finishers. Very few people have told me.
Right.
Very few.
I know Blaze, when he's in there, he tries to tell us at least tell me what some of the moves for the Steel City Committee are. But even then, I think it's different than what Pete calls it, and so, which is cool. I'm okay with that. I just want to know what to call it, so I don't,
That goes to what we were just saying. It's different. That means each company's different. We're not all the same.
And right, and D-Train just posted, he says, I'm with you both 100% on the subject, promoters and control of, because he's done the exact same thing in Maverick. When he gets he tweaks them and makes them fit for what he wants.
Right.
And that's basically what it's all about. You have to be willing to let the promoter / owner do what they have to do to get your characters the way they want them in their company, so it's not the same thing over and over and over and over. Because honestly, up until now, I was going to reach out to Mordrin and just to see if he'd do it, but I'm not even going to talk to him now. I'm just going to leave him the way it is, and if he leaves, he leaves. I don't give a shit. Because I was going to see if I could change him from the black to the blue, because honestly, with him and Bagwell being boots and blood and one being all blue and one being black, it just looks kind of stupid to me. Either that or I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I'm used to tag teams kind of looking similar.
Tag team look like a tag team. Yeah. But that's different. They do it different, so that's fine. I don't know if Ed fell off the call or what. Just all of a sudden stopped talking. Guess we'll find out in a second. No problem, Brandon. Told you, Ed did something. He's over there pulling cords out and shit. Better than your hair, I guess. And, but like I said, I did my best last night to stay as professional as possible during a live show when I felt that people thought it was okay to say 3 fingers to the left and fuck you. It took everything in my power, and I said, well, I got 2 fingers to the north for you. But I didn't go there, and I'm saying that was going through my head because I'm not a shady dude. I'm not a fucking person like that. I'll be honest with you and tell you where I'm coming from. That's why in life, I don't have many friends in real life because I'm not a sugarcoater. I'm not and I appease to people. I have family members who will post dumb shit on Facebook, airing their dirty laundry, and I'll just rip into them. And then they get mad, and it's like, then don't air your shit if you don't want comments. And just because you're my sibling doesn't mean I got your back. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I'll take the other person's side. And family doesn't mean you're family because you're blood. Family is loyalty. And I have not met anybody in this community. But that doesn't mean you can't be family by being real with one another. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way. So that's the way I look at it. I don't know if Ed's able to get reconnected or what. Yeah. Yeah, and then Lucius, I see your comments. Yeah, the whole truth and consequences thing is, I kind of have it on the back burner for you here in GWA. Because I know you got it going on in other places, this, that, and the other. And it's like, damn. Honestly, here's what I'll say to you, Lush, and this way people understand. You've got it going on here, you've got it going on there, and this, that, and the other, to the point where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to use it in GWA. Because then you're going to have the same thing going on everywhere, I guess, was what you could say. And that could be your ultimate goal, for you to have the most ultimate fun. So that's something you and I can discuss, obviously. Thou shalt, the truth shall set you free. Oh my God, you put that on the shirts. I'm just now getting to look at them. You are fucking nuts. I like that purple though you got on Jackson. Ed's trying now. Ed'll be leaving here shortly anyway. Got children to take care of. Mine will be home in about 30 minutes. You know, it is what it is. Like for example, I'm gonna take Raven for example. Raven's been getting hit with the voice. Who is the voice? What the hell? I swear I'm hearing somebody talk. I don't know. I think we kind of have Ed back. I don't know if that's Ed or not. But Raven don't know what the hell's going on with the voice. I didn't run it by her. She's sitting in limbo wondering what the hell's going on because it was a gimmick that was brought to me. Storyline. So yeah.
Yeah.
And there he is. We've got Ed back.
And yes, I don't have to go anywhere and set my dog. So
the daughter went. That's cool.
And yeah, Lucius, if you want them 3 to be in UCW, I'll download those 3 and get rid of the old ones. That's fine. And do I need to download Maggie May too?
Maggie May's kind of hot. Oh my god. But yeah. It's fun. And that's why I do the so-and-so inspired shit. Because most of the people I fire anymore are people who are just not around.
That's what I've been getting rid of. That's why I got rid of all those. And the guys I fired when everybody said, "Oh my God, you fired!" They had a match and the guy won and he fired him because he was a filler. He was a guy I downloaded. I kind of liked. I was just using him till the roster picked up more. And pretty much now everybody on my roster is somebody that's, always in the chat or there, here and there, more than anybody. And it's like, so yeah, I have basically no fillers left. It's people that are actually want to be here and that are here.
Right. And which is cool.
You're right, Dwayne. Thank you, my Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Secretary.
He's hollering from the other room. Except for your TV champ. I forgot. EJ he was a filler, and he's my TV champ. Go figure.
Right. And he shall remain as such, I'm sure, until he loses.
Until he loses, and then he's gone.
Ha! So when he loses his title, he loses his career.
Yep. And he's gone because I need spots for people. Because, people are constantly hitting us up, and people are constantly, "Oh, you got to get this person in, get that person in." Well, if they want to do it, I'm okay with that.
You've got more room than I've got because you're the psychotic nutcase who's willing to have 100 people, and I want to keep mine to a minimum.
Well, I did. That's why I did what. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna do my best to do what I have to do and be able to stream 7 days a week and do my shows like I told everybody I'm going to do it. So that way, the cruiserweights are going to get some love, and the hardcore division is going to get love. Tag team division is getting love. The ladies have their thing. They have my other regular shows. And
well, speaking of shows, it is Tuesday. You got Tuesday turmoil today since we've got
between 4:30 and 5 o'clock.
4:30, 5 o'clock. There you go. 4:30, 5 o'clock. Then Ed's going live with Tuesday turmoil. And that's about when I'll be going live this upcoming Thursday.
I haven't fired anybody that quickly. Anybody I have fired was, like I said, basically a filler or somebody that we got email from, said I want to be here, and then just was never around. That's another thing that's right.
Shit.
But yeah, it's just, like I said, I'm not firing anybody. Doug's not firing anybody. But, feel free to, if you don't like what we said and what we're going to do, just let us know. Say, hey, this isn't for us. We appreciate it. We tried, just didn't work out. And, we'll see you in other companies when we're over there. And
right.
It is what it is.
That's why I said I just want to be straight up. Let's just take care of it because I don't want things becoming personal, so to speak. I don't want to see such and such in a different feed, and then it turns into a fight, an argument, a bullshit, whatever, every single time. I don't want it to become uncomfortable for people every single time.
Right.
It's not about that. I want it to be, okay, this is how I like things. This is how you do things. We can agree to disagree, but this is not for me. I'm stepping away. And that's fine.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, but like I said, I have to put things in character. I have to put things in gimmick. I have to storyline things. And in GWA, I had characters, gimmicks, whatever you want to call it, disrespecting the authority, if you will. Punishments will come down. You know, like Lush and I were talking last night in Skype. With everything that happened, Bagwell's going to be out of the upper echelon. Not welcomed in the group anymore. Not going to happen. I also now, in the back of my head, have that feeling of who I can and can't trust with a storyline or an angle and who I'm willing to bend over for. And if people get offended by that statement, then I apologize, but I didn't come in that situation.
I'm right there with you now.
No, that's
yeah. I'm going to be very, very cautious of who I ask now from here on out to, about doing this storyline or that storyline.
But as I was saying with Lucius, he's been talking about truth or consequences, but he agreed to be a part of the upper echelon first, so therefore that was put to the back burner for me in my company. I told him last night, it was fucking hilarious, Mondo yanks Hooligan off the apron, causing him to get DQ'd.
That was weird.
So I said, hey, there's a door, there's an opening. We've now got this whole Bagwell thing we're going to have to address, or he's going to be out of the group. Now you have the opportunity for Lucius to say, this group's falling apart. Our quote-unquote leader, which is Bagwell, wasn't a leader at all, because if you can't beat him, join him mentality is what he had last night. He got his ass beat and he crawled back.
There you go.
And now Mondo's pulling my opponent from the apron, causing me to get disqualified. Screw you, people. I'm going to go align myself with people I can trust. Insert his storyline he was thinking about running, his angle he was thinking about running, his gimmick, whatever you want to call it. And I presented that as an option for him if he so desired. Another one would be to stay in the upper echelon and say, no, we aren't going to run and hide. We're going to make this a unit people are going to fear. And I gave him the option. That's what I say. As the promoter, I can make his character do what I want in a sense, but not completely. That's why I said you try to find a happy medium with people. And I gave him options. We still haven't finalized anything one way or the other, but he has options because of the way the storyline panned out last night, which like I said, I thought was hilarious. How Mondo out of nowhere just yanks Hooligan off the apron, causing the disqualification, which kind of added another element to the whole screw this group, I'm going to this stable. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? And it made it interesting. But like I said,
but it's also kind of funny.
Line it in now.
Right. But it's also kind of, yeah, sorry, didn't mean to. I said it's kind of funny he did that because I know in other places they've often referred to him as not all there in the head. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's fitting the character. I said, so yeah, right. But I couldn't believe it because the match was going on, then it was over, and then I think I called you or something. I said, what happened? And he said he pulled his ass off. I said, he did what? I said, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, but like I said, the whole point of this little Sports Lounge studio address is, and I just want to make it clear, he runs UCW differently than I run GWA. We, as a unit, run our companies different than everybody else's companies, and just because you're something somewhere else doesn't mean you're that with us. I don't want to be like everybody else. And if you're going to try and run an angle, a storyline, a gimmick, you don't, in the middle of a live stream, shit all over the current storyline. When it was over, see, here's the thing. I don't have eternity in GWA. And this is where people need to learn how it works. And I'll just word it that way bluntly. You need to learn how it works, how the companies work, the business, if you will. If you wanted, quote unquote, to have your eternity in the GWA, That's where last night opened the door to that. Jake loses. He takes the ass kicking from the leader, if you will, of the Eternity. Realizes can't beat him, join him. Realizes, what am I doing? I really didn't want to go to war with my brother, whatever you want to say. Message me and say, hey, on the next show, can we have it set up to where Jake was out of his mind when he went after Mordrin and attacking him backstage and this, that, and the other? Can we form our alliance here? Now, like I said, since it's going on in every single damn company, it seems, I don't know how I would have responded to it, but at least it'd have been a respectful way, if you will, of approaching it instead of just all of a sudden in the middle of the live stream saying, oh my God, he's back with us. He's this, that, and the other. And you've got people in the chat who don't even know what the fucking Eternity is because they don't pay attention to the other companies. There is people who watch GWA that don't watch UCW, and we're on the same channel. So you know damn well they're not watching the other companies on the other channels. So they're so confused over what just happened, so confused over what's going on. I'm getting messages because, like I said, if you listen near the end of my pay-per-view, I'm going quiet. You don't hear me. I sound annoyed because I'm being bombarded from Slack, from Skype, from emails to text messages from people going, what the hell's going on? They're so confused. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I didn't even see what happened in the chat till someone pointed it out to me. And I was like, wait, what happened? And I'm like, hold on. And you hear me telling people I'm scrolling back. And then that's when I got pissed. And I had every right to be pissed or whatever. So that's what I said. Because he is in the group on screen, I have to storyline why he's not in the group on screen. You know, let's be honest. Jake Bagwell's part of six-man tag champions. He wasn't allies with one of his partners. I had the storyline and angle. And I won't lie to anybody. I was going to set up a match where the six-man champions were going to be forced to defend the tag title, or the six-man tag titles, against the other three members of the upper echelon. But Bagwell wasn't going to show up. It was going to be a 3-on-2, and Bagwell was going to say, screw Blackwell and screw Rage. This is a 3-on-2 match. I'm letting my upper echelon brothers beat us in a handicap match. And I was going to run it that way. Well, that's not going to happen now, obviously. You know, that was going to be all part of it. And what was going to be hilarious is if they somehow pulled out the win on a 3-on-2 handicap match, where I would have ran with it after that, because I'd have had to come up with something. You know, and in my notebook, I have every feasible ending in what direction I go. Like I said, my notebook's like a choose-your-own-adventure book. I have a storyline wrote down and the result, and then on the next page or below it is each way it goes. Like every single match that took place last night on my pay-per-view took place for a reason. And in my book, I have the result of every single match wrote down, each option, how it would go, if this person wins or that person wins, and where I'm going to go with it next. I don't know how many other people who are doing this are that fucking nuts, or maybe that's stupid, or out of control, or no life having like me, to where they have that all wrote down like that. You know, and like I said, I'm looking at my book here right now. Let's see. Number 1 world title contender match. We were just talking about it. It says Hooligan versus West. To the left underneath Hooligan, I have wrote down right here where that's going. Underneath West, I had it wrote down where it was going to go if West won. And now the Hooligan section is circled because that's what I'm doing. That's insane. That's what I'm doing. I don't know if Ed pulled his cord again or if he's just being quiet.
I'm just listening, and I'm laughing because D-Train says, you know, they make computers for that now. And I agree, but at the same time, for keeping track of all your stuff, but at the same time, I don't trust technology. And I think that's why both of us have just started to write everything down on paper. That way, if something would happen, then we still have it,
right? In
case we can never get it back.
And here's another thing. You can't always get on the computer, but you can always sit on the couch and write.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my kids might be on the computer doing homework, or the wife might be sitting there browsing, whatever. You know, I can actually sit on the couch watching. I love American Pickers. I watch the shit out of that. I binge watch American Pickers. So I'll be sitting on the couch watching American Pickers, and then during commercial, open up the notebook, get to work. Then when the show comes back on, I take a break. You know, I don't want to have to keep getting up and going back and forth the computer. But like I said, like he said, there's computers for that. There's some people who prefer just to do it when they're at the computer. Again, shows the differences in the way people like to do things, which is why there needs to be differences in these companies, because if there isn't, there's no goddamn point. You know, and that's why I'll word it one more time. If you want to do in the GWA the same shit you're doing everywhere else, the GWA is not for you. It's just not. Some things can make sense, not all things, and that's where the communication needs to come in. And people need to find me on Skype, find me on Facebook, or wherever you can locate me. That's where we also have the pro boards. So some people don't like Facebook. Some people don't have Skype. That's why we created the pro boards as a way of communication.
Exactly.
You know, and you're going to have to sign up for pro boards. You don't have to, but that's the way you can communicate with us. That's another way to stay in touch with our community in Sports Lounge Studio companies, if you will, and talk to each other when our shows aren't going on. Because I know there's people who want to talk to me or want to talk to Ed, but they don't know how to reach us because we don't have a show. They don't have that live chat. Well, you've got the pro boards to reach out to us. Use it. Take advantage of it if you need it.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, if you have Skype, get on Skype. We have a thing dedicated to Sports Lounge Studios.
Yeah, and I want to bring this up. It's totally off topic. I was approached by somebody who wants to start their own company. They want to run it their way. They want to do things their way, this, that, and the other, but they either don't have the capability to do it or they're afraid to do it. They don't want to call the shows. I was asked if I would do it.
Nice.
I have so much time that I'm putting towards GWA, it's not even funny. So I had told this person, look, if I were to be able to do this, I don't know if you're going to have a set schedule when you want to do your show and or shows. So I don't know. I don't know if you want me to do things on my schedule. That's things we're going to have to discuss, things we have to talk about or what have you. But at the end of the day, there could be another show on Sports Lounge Studios. And if and when it starts, I have no control over the company. I have no control. And you guys will know what I'm talking about if and when it goes live one day. You're like, oh, what's this? Oh, this must be what he was talking about. The door will be open to some people to wanting to join if they want, I guess. Like I said, I don't know what this person has in store. And I'm not even going to say who the person is because they don't even want me to talk about it in person or in public, if you will. I guess they're trying to do it behind the scenes. I don't know. But it may not happen. I just want people to know if all of a sudden you see Sports Lounge Studios goes live and you're like, what the hell is this company? That's what's going on. I may do it. And it may be a once-a-week thing. It may be an every other week thing. I have no idea. Depends on availability, so to speak.
Well, that's up to you. If you want to do it, we'll figure it out. Because like I said, after I did kind of start my new show, but at starting definitely for sure after the pay-per-view, I want to try to figure out. So I'm going to be on 7 days a week.
Yeah. Oh, I want to mention Legends Pro Wrestling that we talked about doing. A lot of you have been around, you know what we're talking about. But those of you who don't, Ed and I were discussing the idea of taking the Legends from 2K18. The Legends now, people. Not the current active roster talents is how I should say that to people so they know what I'm saying. I'm talking like just throwing names off the wall like Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle's in the game from 2001 when he had hair. Taking him. The Rock and Roll Express, they're in the game.
Sting.
You got the Sting.
Ric Flair.
I really just say it like that, the Sting.
Yeah.
You got Vader. I don't know if you want to call him a legend, but he's in the game, and that's Sid Vicious. You got the Ultimate Warrior. Bam Bam Bigelow. The list goes on. We were going to take Legends only, and we were going to run a company known as Legends Pro Wrestling. Shut up, Davis Undertaker. Get out of here. Oh, God. That's a whole fucking podcast in itself. But we were going to take these characters, called Legends Pro Wrestling. I actually created an arena, had belts and everything for it. But Ed and I are having so much fun with GWA and UCW to the point Ed's doing a show 7 days a week. He's going to have no time for LPW. Now, that doesn't mean LPW might not start, and I run it, and Ed do it if and when he has time. But as of right now, it's on the back burner. Unless people want to really clamor for it and come to us and say, God damn it, we want to see that. You got to do it, and maybe change our mind. But I don't know if Ed's going to be able to do 14 shows a week, because I know Ed. If he gets into doing LPW with real wrestlers running shit the way he would have loved to have seen real wrestling work with real people, he will become overly obsessed, and it'll be all the time.
Yeah, UCW will die.
No, your marriage and family would probably die first, because you're obsessed. You're like, no, I want to do no. When I come into the family reunion, I have wrestling to do. Get out of that.
I got wrestling to do. Leave me alone. That's right. It's LPW today. Tomorrow's UCW. Leave me the fuck alone.
Go away.
Yep. Just lock me in my room.
What's wrong with your connection? I'm in the dungeon. I'm down in the basement, away from these people.
Yep. I got as far away as I could. I keep trying to tell them, give me a room of my own. Just lock me in there. Just bring me food here and there. And then, but the wife won't go for that.
Is that what it is? Gonna put a little hole in the door like you're in prison.
Yep. Here's your lunch. And then people, when they bring their friends over to get a peek at, the beast behind the door, they're going to tell them, whatever you do, don't stick your fingers in the hole.
Oh, my God. Going to have to buy you a pet monkey so it can eat the bugs out of your beard when you're not showering.
And what's funny is all these people think we're nuts. And we're just, no. This is the honest to God's truth. When we were doing e-fetting and I got seriously into it, yeah, it put a strain big time. And Dougie he knows. Me and the wife argued constantly because I was on the computer so much working, doing things because it consumed me.
Well, let's be honest. When we did e-feds, which is really no different than what we're doing now, we just get to watch the matches. We had what we called radio shows using Talk Shoe or whatever the hell
Blog
Talk. There you go. Blog Talk Radio and Talk Shoe, where we would do podcasts and we'd get the people who were on our shows as wrestlers and they would write their role plays. They would join us on the air and we would do shows 4, 5, 6 hours long.
Yep.
I remember doing a show, and this is no bullshit, people. I remember starting a show around 11, 12 o'clock at night and going off the air as the sun was rising.
Oh yeah, we did a couple of those.
And
I got in trouble for that.
It was like, what are we doing? But the only reason why I bring it up is I want people to understand that's how committed we can be to something like this to bring fun, not just to ourselves, but to everyone else. That's why I like to be different. I just don't want somebody tuning into GWA and going, oh, I want to tune into GWA and show him my support. Knowing at the back of their head, they're like, yeah, and I'm going to see such and such do this with this thing. And I just saw it last night over here. And then, and I saw it earlier today over in this one too. But, it's the same thing. But because I like how this guy is, I'll tune in and support. And they're not into it. Because I quite frankly can't get into things if it's the same everywhere. I just can't. That's me. Some people love it. Again, that's why we're all different. Like I said, can you imagine if everyone had the same thoughts, feelings, and opinions? How boring life would be.
Oh, life would suck.
We all like the same favorite food. We all have the same favorite color. We all have the same favorite sports teams. There's no talk, discussion, trash talk. No, we're better than you. No way. The tacos aren't better than cheesesteaks. Whatever the topic would be. It's like, yeah, I agree. Oh, well, now what are we going to talk about? It would suck.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, like I said, I don't want to be on here too long. I know my kids will be home in roughly 10 minutes or so. And I just don't want to keep saying the same shit over and over again because that's kind of what we're saying about the shows. We don't want it to be the same thing over and over again. The
Right.
gist is, anyone who's listening to this live or anyone who's going to catch the playback, if you're in the GWA, you don't like where I stand, message me, contact me, get in touch with me and say, I don't like what you're doing or how you do it. I don't want to be there. That's cool. I'll take you off the roster right away.
Same
But
here.
You're not just going to be taken off the roster and not show up. I have to storyline while you're out. You know, especially if your character's involved with something. If you're just kind of there, which some people are just kind of there because their character hasn't found their way yet, that's a little easier. You know, and people got to understand why I'd be doing it the way I'm doing it, depending on the character. And that's why I said Bagwell doing what he did. However, that's fine. That's what's going to happen now because that's what people are thinking. I have to do it that way. But I got to storyline it out. I got to storyline why it's happening. You know, or whatever. So I already have that wrote down. And, you know, let me see. Like I said, if I pick up my book here, I'll go right to this page. I won't read it all. And here it says, at Sabotage, well, not Sabotage, Mayhem, excuse me, because I have Sabotage and Mayhem right on the same page. It says, Mayhem, Bagwell is removed from TUE. Why? And then right here I have why. What's going on? And then underneath it, I have how the match is going to take place, how the storyline is going to place, how the angle is going to take place. And then, by the way, for those of you in the upper echelon, underneath it, I now have option 1, 2, 3, 4 of where it's going to go for the group. And the reason why I have options is because I need to talk to certain people to see where we want to take it. And just during this show, in case you've missed it, you can scroll back and read it yourself. I had a couple people just come to me and say, hey, I'm interested in the TV idea. They kind of would replace the Bagwell character. So now I'm probably going to have to add to my options list. You know? So, I mean, like I said, that's going to all happen Thursday. And the voice, people, shows up Thursday, too. Who's the voice? Who's been tormenting Raven? I guess we're going to find out. What's going on, Willie? So, yeah, like I said, that's the gist of it. If you don't like how we're doing things, just tell us. We're going to get your character off the show as soon as possible, if not immediately.
Yep.
You know, and I'm going to say this to certain people, and those certain people know who they are. You will not always win in the GWA. And if that bothers you and you want to quit, do it. Be aware there's going to be a time where you're probably going to lose. I have no control over the AI. But if you're afraid you're going to lose, leave now. It's not always about winning. That's another reason why the GWA uses point system. I don't like the universe mode. We'll never use the universe mode. And this is where it's a difference of opinion. This is not a shot at any company who's using the universe mode. But I think using the universe mode is a disservice to the company. Because the rankings in that thing is bullshit.
Like I said, I've been playing around with the universe mode because Dwayne is upset. He's more obsessed with the wrestling game than I am. And I don't understand it. I don't know how I'm in a tag team and we don't have a match for like 2 weeks and we're at the bottom of the rankings. And the next thing you know, we win a match and we're at the top. And then, or, you know, we're at the bottom and don't have any matches for a month. And next thing you know, we're at the top of the rankings. I'm like, somebody's got to explain it. I don't understand it. That's why we do what we do. We keep our own ranking system. It's right there on the pro boards. It tells you exactly how you get your points, lose your points. It's real simple. It's not real complicated.
Right. You know, you get points. You get bonus points for winning titles. But it's real simple. You get 3 points for a win, and you lose a point when you lose a match. Unless it's specialty matches like I'll do Battle Royals. I'll give you a point for every elimination. The next Battle Royal might be a little different. That's what makes them interesting. That's what makes them a little different to where when you tune in, it's not always the same gimmick storyline with the Battle Royal. Sometimes there's a little more to it, you know, which makes them interesting from time to time. You know,
and like with me,
you use universe mode. You have to use the rankings because that's why it's there to justify title shots. Because if you don't, Why are certain people getting shots? Now you
Right.
can have cries of bias, this, that, and the other. And the other thing is, in universe mode, you don't know who is or isn't really truly honest. People can change the rankings. You can go in there and edit it yourself and then bring it up on the screen and say, well, here's the rankings. How do I not know 5 minutes ago you just edited that shit? I don't know. Whereas with what we do, all you got to do is take the time out of your life, add up the points each day if you want to make sure you know we're on the up and up.
Yep.
And that's why another reason why we do it the way we do it. So, but I'm going to go get my kids.
All right.
At the bus stop. I mean, they are only 9 and 11, and they're little girls, and they will not walk home by themselves because it's like 2 blocks. Where the bus
You might
stop.
want to hurry up and go do that.
Somebody comes near my kid, I'll be in jail. I think most of the people in this chat room that have kids be like, damn fucking right. So,
Right.
Again, if it sounds like we're a bunch of assholes, then I guess we're assholes. I hope everybody gets where we're coming from. Not everybody's going to agree with it. If you don't want to be here with how we do things, please tell us, because I don't want to fight with anybody. I'm
I
not
don't either.
hiring nobody. Everybody's welcome. So, and like Ed said, 4:35 o'clock, which is in about an hour, you'll be going live with Tuesday. What is it? Turmoil.
Well, that's the plan. I got to make supper yet, and so hopefully it won't take long to cook and people eating.
There you go. All right, man. I want to thank everybody that were here. I'm going to wrap this thing out of here or whatever and look for Sports Lounge to go live here in just a little while.
Hopefully.
All right. Appreciate everybody. We're out of here. Later.
Later.